guys. Welcome back to Gathering with God. I'm Ansley,
I'm Mackenzie.
and we have our guest, Jackson Connolly.
Hey.
All right, so we'll be using this podcast to uplift and encourage believers and non-believers to follow and worship God every day. Mackenzie, will you read our sponsors?
So we want to give a special thanks to Silver Sky Woodworking for their support for our channel. Without them, it would be impossible to record this. If any of our listeners need custom furniture, accent walls, cutting boards, or custom cabinets, they should head over to viridiannews.org and click the link for Silver Sky. And we're always looking for new sponsors, so let us know on the viridiannews.org if you would like to be a part of our work and reach our audience with us.
All right, thank you for tuning in. And so we're first going to be talking about our weeks. So I can start off. Basically, what could I say? Okay. So I started playing the guitar more. Like I've been learning like new Christian songs and stuff for like FCA and like doing stuff like that. There's one song that's like Ain't No Grave. It's like one of my favorite songs. Like Christian songs is so good. And I learned how to play that. Recently, I've been trying to lock in on my dual enrollment class because I have the dual enrollment class during work-based learning. So I've had like basically no time to do stuff for it, and I've been procrastinating bad. And so like I'm a little scared, but I think I'm gonna do okay. Pray that I pass this final exam in the next couple of weeks. So, and also I'm just trying to pray and read my Bible more since I like have more time on my hands, like alone especially. So. Yeah. All right, Mackenzie.
My week has been going pretty good. The Lord has been showing up for me in like many different situations, especially like with my church family. Like he's just been like giving us like confirmations after confirmations, and it just like gives us so much more reassurance that he is here with us. Like we never doubted that he was, but just him showing it to us just made us like so much, like it just boosted our faith so much more. So yeah, my week has been going pretty good.
All right, Jackson, how's your week going?
My week's been going really good. The Lord definitely has done a lot for my life. He's been there, like, this week has been struggling a little bit, but I will say that the Lord has been there, like, every single step of the way. And, like, no matter what I've been going through, the past month has been hard, but, he's always been there for me. He's always made a way. So, yeah.
So we're just going to be asking you a few questions just about your Christian life, how you became a Christian, stuff like that. So starting off easy, when did you first become a Christian?
So I was kind of like in the, like my house, like my mom was a Christian and I was just raised into it. But like, I would say like, really I began like when I was like in middle school. Like I took it a little bit more serious in middle school. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because I realized that like the people around me and just like the world wasn't really like I didn't like really fit in, Like I know like I didn't see a lot of love. I just saw like wickedness. So I was like, I need to be different. So like just me being nice and just showing love to everyone, I noticed that like I was reflecting God a little bit more. So
All right. So how have you seen God move in your life and shape it?
So I would say recently in the past year, just with this Bible study I've been doing and stuff. And, I've really gained, like, courage just to, like preach the gospel more. And I know, God has seen my entire life. And I know how bad it's been and my struggles and my families and stuff. But I know he's been with me every single step of the way. And so, like, him just changing, like, small things at that time, but then him, like, just testing me is really where it's been. And through those tests, God has made me weak, but he has made strong. So, yeah.
What is something that God has taught you like recently or just in the past in general?
God has really taught me to be really understanding and to, be less of me and be more of him. I used to be very like judgmental. Like I wouldn't be judgmental like outside. I'd be like more inside my head and stuff. And I feel like, that's where God is really going to get you because God says, what you do in the dark is like, way more important. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because he sees it. So if I'm, judging someone inside my head, God sees it, but they don't see it. So it's kind of like way worse. So, me just like loving them no matter what the situation is or what the situation they're in, I feel like I'm showing God's love. And God's love is God's word too. So if I'm not sharing God's word, then I'm not really loving someone. So I try to get every opportunity to spread God's word. So, yeah.
All right.
So I noticed you said that you do the Bible study here. So what made you decide to start?
So I actually was gonna do it last year, but like my faith with God has just been like struggling then, and like I was in a lot of doubts and just like in a bad situation. But then I realized that like God is all the confidence I need, and He's the only one that cares, and that if I'm doing it for Him, like He's the only one that matters. I need to put myself away. So when I started doing these Bible studies, I was like the first one ever. I was super nervous, and I just realized, like at the end, like I felt so happy, and it wasn't even for my glory; it was for God's glory. And just to see how many people showed up, it was very like fulfilling for me. And I realized like each step of the way, like each Bible study I have, some people come more, and some people just don't come at all. But no matter what people come, like it's all for God's glory. So yeah.
So what are some things that you like used to do that the Lord has changed for the better?
Definitely like the judgmental part, but just like I feel like my attitude and my just actions and my music and stuff. So I used to listen to like a lot of like Eminem and stuff. But I realized that like really affected my life and stuff, and I did not want that anymore. I wanted to become loving and nice and sweet. Like I just got like fruits of the spirit. I didn't want any of that angerness, and like it's just like the music affects so much people that I couldn't even tell you like how much. Just have to like change it, and you know the difference because your attitude will change. Everything will change. My attitude was like sorry, especially towards my family, because like my family is like where I feel like we get attacked like the most because like my mom is single and stuff. So just her being single and just me and my brother like kind of arguing and stuff it's very hard. But we know that through the Lord, He has changed us. It definitely took some time, we've become to love to me, and because I thought it was just like a me problem. Just to know that we can and I feel like a lot of my family thought it was a me problem, especially with my music and stuff. But I think the more that we've gone to church and just like open the Lord, we all have our own problems and stuff, and none of us are perfect in any way. But when we are perfect, we are made perfect through the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And so it's really good to see people our age like spreading the gospel, especially like
Yeah.
in big crowds. Like I noticed, well, you said like some people come, some people may not show up, but still like you putting yourself out there to spread the gospel because we need to hear it. Like we especially need to hear it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're like don't stop doing it. Like I'm glad that you're doing it for others as well for yourself, and I'm glad that the Lord is just showing up for you and just change your whole demeanor on like
That means a lot to me. Like I know, like I've definitely had my doubts about this Bible study and stuff, but then I have to tell myself like every time that like it's all about Jesus. Like at the end of the day, no matter what we do or what we say, like it's about Jesus. Like I don't deserve any of the glory. It's all a glory to Jesus. So like it really does mean a lot, and just people to see and stuff. And the people that come, and consistency is definitely the key. Like if you're consistent in your word or just coming to anything like with Jesus, you'll grow no matter what. So yeah.
I think one thing that I was wondering was like, what exactly do y'all talk about at those Bible studies?
So I make like a Google like a Canva slides, and I try to be like a little bit more interactive with them because I know it's super early in the morning, so a lot of people don't really come for that. But I'm really happy to see the people that are always consistent there, and I usually put like 3 or 4 Bible verses there. I ask them questions, and sometimes I ask how they've been doing. One of my favorite things recently was I tried to be a little bit funny and like made it Fortnite related, just so they could like the boys could understand a little bit more. And I was actually a little bit surprised that the girls understood a little bit too. But I was just trying to make it a little bit funny, understanding. But I took it serious a little bit, like towards the end while we were praying and stuff. And I was just kind of happy to see, I could still make it a little bit more funny, but then they can still understand about God and like not take it a little bit, like out of pocket, So.
Yeah, it's definitely good to bring like something that they're interested in because a lot of people might not like they might be there but they're not really paying attention, giving their like all to what you're saying.
Yeah.
So being able to incorporate something that they like but also like focusing it on the Lord is like it's really good. So
Yeah, because I feel like on TikTok and stuff, like a lot of people just scroll on TikTok because it's relatable.
it is, yeah.
So if I can relate to you, and then like with Jesus, not only are you gonna like what you're seeing, but you get to hear about the Lord. So
All right. Thank you for listening to Gathering with God. I'm so glad that we got to have you, Jackson, and just got to hear like your story.
Well, thank you for so much for having me.
Yes. Tune in next time to hear a Bible lesson.
Yeah. And just remember, God made you special and He loves you in every way. Have a blessed day.
Bye, guys.